how to get started playing ball at the park in 2021 and my best advice to start playing street ball in 2021. Welcome back to Streetball Strategies. For those of you who are new, my name is Tony, and this channel is for players who love playing out here at the park, but who are not necessarily as talented as most of the other players out here. And so what we do here is we study the game that we love, and then by studying the game, we find little strategies here and there that we can take from studying the game, combine them together, apply them out here so that we can then compete with anybody out here. That's what we do. We compete, we get better, we try, and we love the game. Last year, I had just started the channel at the end of the year, and so I didn't have a video about how to start playing ball in 2020. But now that we're about a year in, I figured we could talk about how to get started playing ball at the park in 2021 and my best advice to start playing street ball in 2021. Just a side note, it's 27 degrees. Just so you know why I'm bundled up like this. So the best general overall advice I could give for how to start playing ball at the park in 2021 is going to be fairly simple, fairly short, fairly straight to the point. But before I get into that, let me talk about how the year at the park has gone down over this past spring and summer. So coming into the basketball season out here at the park in the spring and summer of 2020, we had a global pandemic. We were in the midst of COVID-19. More specifically, we were just at the beginning of it. We were just learning about it for the very first time. We were just trying to learn how to deal with it for the very first time. And the overall consensus was that the safest thing you could do when it came to being out here playing basketball was to either play ball with your very close, trusted bubble of people that you knew were healthy, or to just spend a whole lot of time out here playing and practicing by yourself. That was the safest thing you could do. And so now, coming into 2021, that gets a little more convoluted because now we have vaccines just now starting to come out. So now with the vaccinations starting to come out, that adds another layer onto how do you handle things out here? What do you do? Because we don't know the effectiveness of the vaccination yet. We don't know how widespread it's going to be. We don't know how available it's going to be. We don't know how long it's going to take to get enough people vaccinated so that we can kind of get back to normal again. So when the spring and summer of 2021 get here, we don't really know what it's going to look like. Again, we're kind of learning how to deal with something, and we're like just at the forefront of what are we supposed to do. So my best advice as to how to start playing ball at the park in 2021 is to be open-minded and to be flexible. That may seem obvious, and it's probably not some kind of golden ticket that you were looking for, but I really do think going into the spring and summer, that's the best thing you can do, is to be open-minded, be flexible with what you do out here, how you spend your time. Because none of us know what it's going to look like. None of us know what's going to happen in terms of herd immunity and all of that stuff, how it's going to affect us playing basketball out here. And because there's so many unanswered questions, the best thing you can do is just be open-minded and be flexible as how you're going to spend your time, what you're going to do out here. In the spring and summer of 2020, again, we had a lot of unanswered questions, and we were just learning how to deal with that. Because of that, there wasn't the usual competition going on out here. It wasn't as frequent, it wasn't as widespread. Yes, I did see often many people out here playing games and being competitive with each other, but I didn't know who they were in terms of, I didn't know if they knew each other, I didn't know if it was some kind of organization where everybody was tested somehow and knew they were healthy. I'm not familiar with who those people were or their health conditions or any of that. But there were people out here playing, but again, they may have known each other. They may have been part of some organization where everybody knew everybody was healthy. I don't know. But for the most part, you would see individual people out here. You would see a person or a couple people out here by themselves playing or shooting around or whatever it was. I feel like that's going to be the way it's going to happen again in 2021. But for the most part, I estimate that it's going to be very few people, sort of keeping to themselves on one half of the court or so. Which means for you, hopefully you have a bubble of people that you can play with, compete with, and get better with. But I'm guessing that for the majority of us, it's probably just going to be us, or maybe probably less than a handful of other people that we know who would want to come out here and play ball. But either way, even if you do know a few people who are close to you, who can play with you and compete with you, it's still going to be a lot of time out here by yourself. So I would say be open-minded to that, be flexible to that, be ready and prepared to spend a lot of time out here by yourself going into the spring and summer of 2021. But because we don't know how widespread and effective the vaccinations are going to be yet, also be open-minded and be flexible for the idea that there may be a lot of people out here, especially compared to last year. A lot of people just playing ball normally, as you would normally see in any other year out here at the park. Just random people showing up, ready to play, ready to compete. Be open-minded to that, be flexible to that. I'm not telling you to play with strangers. That's completely up to you and your own decision. I'm just saying be open to the possibility that come this spring and summer, you could see more random people out here than you did last year in 2020. And who knows how busy the court's going to be. There may be random people out here on a more regular basis than there was last year, or it just may be like sort of barren as it was a lot of times last year. My point is to be open-minded and to be flexible, and if you have to practice all of 2021 by yourself, if that's just how you have to spend your time again in 2021, then that's what you have to do. You just have to be prepared. I do like the idea and the thought that when it comes to playing out here at the park, you should kind of be prepared for anything, prepared for any kind of situation that may arise. But in the situation of 2020 and 2021 and so many unanswered questions as to yet how the court's going to shape up out here, the conditions and the busyness and who's going to be out here, if there's going to be anybody out here, I think it's more important than ever to be open-minded and to be flexible as to how you're going to spend your time out here. I do love the saying of you should stay ready so that you don't have to get ready. I think that's very important to kind of keep in mind in these times of uncertainty out here on the court. Meaning we don't know when things are going to get back to being normal, when things are going to get back to being just random strangers show up to the court and you just compete with them. We don't know when that's going to happen. Could it happen this summer? Maybe. It seems unlikely and it seems too good to be true, but it may happen, and if it does, you should be ready. You shouldn't have to suddenly try to get ready in the case that, like, on Tuesday things are the way they are now in terms of uncertainty on the court, but then come like that next Thursday, things are completely back to normal, right? You shouldn't be caught off guard by that. You shouldn't be caught unprepared for that. You shouldn't be thinking to yourself, oh man, well now I have to get back into competitive basketball condition and mindset and all of that. No, you should already be doing that. It's winter time for those of us who live in this part of the world, this part of the country. We're stuck inside for the most part, but when spring hits, when summer comes, you should be ready. You should stay ready so you don't have to get ready. We have no idea when things are going to get back to normal, but when they do, we should be ready. We should be prepared. Part of how we do that is by being open-minded, by being flexible. And so if you have to spend time out here by yourself, working, practicing, getting better, then that's what you got to do. If it means things and conditions and players and health go back to the way they were very quickly and you have to adjust, then that's what you do as well, by being ready, by staying ready. Don't let the conditions of the rest of the basketball world dictate how prepared you are. Just stay ready, and do that by being open-minded. Do that by being flexible in how you spend your time getting better when it comes to basketball. So thank you guys for watching. I realize that, yes, that is basic and simple advice, but I really do believe in it. I really do believe that being prepared, being open-minded, being flexible is going to be the way you're going to have to exist out here, at least for the coming year, the coming spring and summer of 2021. It's going to be vital to how you make progress out here. Even if you have to be out here by yourself again, the point is you put in the effort, you put in the work, and you get better. You stay prepared for when things get back to normal. If you guys did enjoy this video, if you did find it helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified of all my future videos. I'm going to continue to help you guys get prepared for the spring in 2021 as we move through this winter. So make sure you have your notifications set up so that we can put in this work together leading up to the spring. So thank you guys again, and I will see you guys next week.